Okay guys, so I have just landed in Hobart. I've been dropped off by the bus. As you can see, it's a very cloudy Hobart today. I am going to walk to the hostel, drop my bags off, and then start to explore the city. I've only got one day in Hobart, so not very long, so there's a lot to cram in one day. But I'm going to try and take you along with me and show you a few of the sights of Hobart. Okay guys, the bags are dropped off. The place that I'm looking around, my first stop is a place called Battery Point, so it's just an area in Hobart, which is supposed to be quite nice, quite a few nice shops and stuff like that. First impressions of Hobart is that it's very like small town, village sort of feel, even in Hobart, which is the biggest city in Tasmania. The only difference being is that you can sort of see the mountains at the back there. But in terms of like the actual architecture and the streets, it feels very English. Like this street here, like I can show you, even with the buildings, wouldn't be out of place in England. It looks very, very similar. So yeah, let's have a walk down and see what we can find. So this is quite interesting. Because Hobart is an island off the south of Australia, a lot of Antarctic missions back in the day, and probably still now, used to depart from Hobart Port, which is where we are currently. And there's this memorial here of, I don't know, probably some famous guy, I'm not sure who it is exactly, but just to sort of commemorate all the Antarctic expeditions that took place from Hobart. Obviously a lot of people risked their lives doing it, especially 100 years ago when they first started to explore Antarctica. So it's nice that they got this little sort of commemoration here. So earlier I was talking about how you can see the English influence in Hobart and probably in Tasmania in general. For example, if you sort of take a look at a few of these buildings behind me, they look very English, and I think from what I've been reading, a few of them have been made by sort of the convicts that were sent here, because Tasmania was a penal colony like the rest of Australia. I suppose British brought the architecture over with them. So in the distance there, as you can probably see, there was a mountain that I was pointing to earlier. So that there is Mount Wellington. I didn't realize it at first, but that is Mount Wellington. Hopefully I'm going to try and go to the top of that tomorrow if I can. I can imagine the view is beautiful. Something that I also read was that when Charles Darwin first came here, he said it was a bit of an eyesore, Mount Wellington, so he wasn't a fan. So let's go and explore the rest of the city, and I'll show you what Hobart has to offer. So another thing that I've learned on my travels is that all the buildings that I was showing you just a minute ago along here were all jam factory buildings. So Hobart was like one of the world's capitals for making jam. And I think these buildings all along here in the 1920s, there were at one stage, it said, some of the largest and most advanced factories in the world outside of England. There's not much obviously jam making going on now. This is all turned into like an art centre. But yeah, just thought interesting piece of history there. Okay guys, what you can see behind me here is Australia's oldest ongoing brewery. called Cascade Brewery. You might be able to see it at the top there. They do tours inside and stuff like that. I don't think I'm going to have time for that today, but I thought I'd have a look at it from the outside and maybe go into the bar and see what the selection of beers is like in the bar. But yeah, this is Cascade Brewery, the oldest brewery in Australia. So guys, that was the end of a long day in Hobart. I went to the museum, I went to the Salamanca Art Centre, went to the shopping centre, went to the Cascade Brewery, did a lot of things today, a lot of walking, had this beautiful Malaysian laksa as well in the afternoon, and now back at the hostel. And the hostel is really cool. It's not like a normal hostel, it feels very homely in a way. And then the view from the balcony of the hostel is incredible. Let me see if I can show you guys. So that over there is Mount Wellington with the sun setting, so absolutely gorgeous. So I've just sat here watching the sunset at the hostel. Hopefully have a good night's sleep. I can show you what the hostel looks like too. My top bunk there. Plug sockets at the top for your phone. Pretty small, but really nice. And this is the balcony as well to look out of. Absolutely gorgeous. So tomorrow we'll be picking up the car and then we'll be going to Freycinet, which is our next stop. Freycinet National Park. We're seeing Wineglass Bay. And then we'll be camping over at Freycinet, which will be hopefully really good. So picking up some camping gear tomorrow. So yeah, come along with me guys. Okay guys, how are we doing? So I've just picked up the car and I got an email from the car rental place yesterday and they said my car that I was going to hire has been damaged, so they need to give me another car. I came today and found that the car that I've got hired is actually a bigger one and all the seats go flat, meaning I can camp in the back of the car, which is amazing because I was a little bit worried that the car that I had hired initially, the seats didn't go all the way flat, it wasn't that big, so I was going to struggle to sort of camp in the back for 2 nights. But this one, free upgrade to a much bigger car, the seats go flat, so yeah, win-win situation. So hopefully the car is nice to drive. I'm going to pick up a few things from the camping shop, an inflatable bed, etc. to throw in the back of the boot, and then go to Mount Wellington and then off to Freycinet. So I'll take you with me. So guys, we have arrived at Mount Wellington. Luckily you can drive all the way to the top. It's quite a windy road. It takes you all the way to the top of the mountain. I think it's about 1400 meters up if I remember correctly. I've got to the top and it's so windy, cloudy and raining. Well, I don't know if you can see how grey it is outside. That's my view. So I went all the way to the top for me not to see anything. So I'm gonna have a quick look round. I think there's a few other people up here as well in camper vans and stuff. So I'm gonna have a quick look round. Not that I can really see much anyway. Head a bit further down the mountain where the clouds aren't covering the view, and then maybe you can get a bit of a better view from there. But yeah, super windy out there guys. You might even be able to hear it against the car. So yeah, let's see what we can see from the top of the mountain. Let me show you the view. Top of the mountain there. As I said, you can't really see much, so what I'm going to do is try and head to the observatory to see if you can see a little bit more from there. Okay guys, we are now down the mountain and back on sort of level ground. Just driven outside of Hobart in a little place called Rosy, and the reason why I'm here is because there's a place called Rosy Hill Lookout, which apparently gives you good views of Hobart City, so we're just going to have a look now. So that's where we've just come from, Mount Wellington at the top. My hostel was just there in that little city area, and this is the bridge that we use, the Tasman Bridge, to get out of Hobart, and we will be on our way to Freycinet National Park. Alright guys, so the drive from Hobart to Wineglass Bay, which is in Freycinet National Park, is about 2.5 hours. I've done about an hour and a half of that. I've got an hour left of the drive, approximately, maybe a little bit more. Thought I'd stretch my legs, but honestly guys, the scenery on the east coast, some of the roads I've been driving down is absolutely phenomenal. So let me just show you where I've stopped off on the side of the road for a little break. Look at that, pristine beaches, crystal clear blue water. You can see all the mountains in the background. You know what it reminds me of a little bit, guys, is Scotland. So if you guys have ever been to Scotland and the Highlands and stuff like that, that's what Tasmania sort of reminds me of. Just a beautiful hills and mountains everywhere, empty white sandy beaches, absolutely amazing. Right, let's get on with the last hour of the journey. So guys, I've just arrived at my campsite and it is absolutely gorgeous. So here we are, parked up. I haven't had a look yet. Let's see what's down the path from my camping spot. Morning guys, so that was my first night sleeping in the back of the car. In terms of quality of sleep, obviously not the best sleep I've ever had. I slept as well as you can on an inflatable mattress in the back of a car, like not too bad. When I first went to sleep I was really warm, then halfway through the night I was super cold, so then I had to put a few extra layers on. But apart from that, it was all good. So the plan for today is to walk to Wineglass Bay this morning. I can show you guys that, and then we'll go up the east coast up to Bay of Fires is the plan. So yeah, let's get started for today. It's pretty early, so it's just gone like 7:30, so an early start, but that's what we need. I've got to say, it's really nice to wake up in a place like this. So when you walk out of the car, when you roll out of bed, you just look straight away at the beach, and there's mountains there, the sun is shining, like it's absolutely stunning. So yeah, I can definitely see why people do this often. So here we are guys, about half an hour, pretty steep trek up to the lookout point. You can carry on to Wineglass Bay. That's another hour or so walk I think, but I don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to try and see somewhere else first, because I can see the bay from here. It looks absolutely beautiful, as you can see. The video doesn't really do it justice, it never does, but the sand is so white, the water is so blue. It looks amazing. So guys, we have now left Freycinet. The next stop is a small town called Peno. There's a famous Peno blowhole, it's called, so we'll go and check it out. Just here with a biscuit. This is called an Anzac biscuit, for those of you who don't know. Basically, it was made by the Kiwi and Australian soldiers in World War I. And it's become famous, so this is a very popular biscuit in Australia and New Zealand. Really nice. I recommend to try it if you're ever in Australia. So that was the Peno blowhole, and as you can see, it almost got me. Some blows are quite small and some are really big, and I just happened to catch one that was really big, so yeah, almost got me soaked there, but managed to just avoid it. At Peno Beach, it's really cool. It's like dead rocky. There's not a sand beach here, it's all like rocks against the shore. As you can see, the rocks are really orange. They look a lot more orange in person. I just thought I'd show you because it looks really cool. Maybe it's something to do with like the algae or the water mixing with the composition of the rock, who knows, but yeah, really sort of cool place. So on my way up north on the east coast, had a little break from driving, and I've pulled into this beautiful place called Chain of Lagoons, and such a white sandy beach, like it is incredible. I'll show you as you walk on the sand squeaks as well. You can hear it underneath your feet. And the water here is like, again, crystal clear blue water. Like, it is absolutely stunning. So as you can see, that's the landscape around me. Amazing. So guys, this is the camp spot for tonight. I am at the Bay of Fires, which is an area of the coast called Bay of Fires, with some lovely beaches down there. White sandy beaches, as you can see, and lovely blue water. So this is home for tonight. It seems really peaceful, quite a few of the campers as well here, so yeah, should be nice. Okay guys, so it is a Friday and today we are on the way to Cradle Mountain. I've been driving for about 3 hours. I've got about an hour left on my journey. So guys, we have arrived at Cradle Mountain. I put my bags in the little cabin that I'm staying in, and I'm going to explore. It is about 6 o'clock in the evening, so I'm not going to go out too far just because the sun is going to set in about 2 hours time. I'm going to set off early tomorrow. So I'm just exploring the area, having a look what's around, and I've just come across a waterfall. So it seems really nice. It's very peaceful here. The sun's come out, which is good too. You can definitely notice the temperature difference from lower ground on like the nearer to the sea level. I think we are quite high up now, obviously, given that it's a mountain, so the temperature does drop quite a lot, hence the woolly hat. But yeah, I've got my layers with me, so I'm all good. Let's go and explore. So at Cradle Mountain, they've also got this gorgeous bordered rainforest walk that you can walk across. The reason why they've got this is because everything here is very sensitive to human footsteps and human disturbance. So what they've done is put a footpath all the way across it so that none of this is disturbed, and the bacteria like under your feet don't mess with the ecological system in the forest. Look at this. This forest is thousands of years old. Looks absolutely amazing. So we have arrived at Dove Lake, as you can see behind me. Let me turn the camera around so you can see. The water is crystal clear. Okay guys, so it is my final day in Tasmania, and we are spending the last day at Cradle Mountain before heading back into Launceston to have a look around the town. So in the morning, it is currently 10:30 in the morning, we're going to start hiking around Cradle Mountain. This is sort of the rough plan that I've got. Whether I manage to do it all or not, I don't know. So I'm planning on doing the Enchanted Walk and the King Billy Walk. Combined will take around an hour. And then I'm also thinking about walking down to Ronnie Creek and back, or maybe get the bus back again, which I reckon will take about 3 hours. So about 4 hours of walking approximately. I'm going to see how long this King Billy Walk and the Enchanted Walk takes, and then decide from there whether I do this section or not. So that's the rough plan. So here we are. This is what we're doing, the Cradle Valley Boardwalk. So you can walk all the way along here. And we're going to go to Ronnie Creek, or at least I'm going to try to go to Ronnie Creek. So that's 1 hour 45, and then I'm going to get the bus back. So let's go. Okay guys, I've been seeing a lot of wildlife, and I've just been walking past, and guess what I've come across? There's a wombat sleeping. In the tree. So there we are guys. That is the end. That is Ronnie Creek. We have made it. And I did it in very good time as well, I have to say. I did it in about an hour and 15 minutes when the board was telling me an hour and 45, so I knocked off half an hour from that journey. And what a walk it's been. And look where the final finishing point is. Absolutely stunning. I think that is Cradle there, just behind that hill. This is where I've just come from, that's the path. What I'm gonna do is go and have a quick break over there and get the bus from here all the way back to the visitor centre. So guys, here we are at Cataract Gorge in Launceston. What I didn't realise as well, they had the world's longest chairlift in terms of length, which you can see here, going off into the distance. I'm probably not going to go on it because it's like $15, and I've already seen lots of good sights today, so I'm just going to walk around the gorge, see what they've got, and show you the sights too. So this is Cataract Gorge, and this is the famous Alexandra suspension bridge. Guys, take a look at these peacocks at Cataract Gorge. The colours are crazy. I'm hoping it sort of opens up its wings so we can see all the patterns. I've also got this little wallaby here too. Oh, it's just ran off into the distance. I think it heard me coming. So this is the view from the top of Cataract Gorge. Got a swimming pool over there, cafe. I've seen a few people swimming in here, and the gorge extends all the way down there. Okay guys, we're gonna wrap it up there. That is my 5 days in Tasmania finished. I've just finished with a nice Thai restaurant in Launceston. So I think it's a nice way to wrap it all up, but thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. Take care, and I'll see you next time.